Why Islam is a beautiful, complete, and perfect religion. It shows that Islam is not just a set of rituals, but a complete way of life that guides a person in all matters: spiritual, moral, physical, and social. The book uses verses from the Quran, the holy book of Muslim, and sayings of the Prophet Muhammad to explain its points. 1. Islam, a perfect and complete religion. The book begins by stating that Islam is the final and perfect religion from God Allah. A verse from the Quran says, "This day I have perfected your religion for you, completed my favor upon you, and have chosen for you Islam as your religion." 5:3. This means nothing can be added to or removed from Islam because it is perfect for all people and all times. God, who knows everything, made Islamic laws flexible and suitable for any situation. Islam gives its followers happiness in this world and eternal peace in the next life. Islam means to submit your will to God. All prophets, from Noah and Abraham to Moses and Jesus, preach the same basic message: Islam, or submission to the one true God. Over time, people changed the original scriptures, like the Old Testament and the Gospel. The Quran was sent for two reasons. First, to confirm the original true message, and second, to correct the changes that had been made in older books. The Quran is the only holy book that has never been changed. God Himself promised to protect it. We have sent down the reminder, the Quran, and we will assuredly guard it from corruption. 15:9. Unlike other scriptures that were written long after their prophets died, the Quran was written down during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad. Thousands of his followers memorized it completely. To this day, millions of people have memorized the entire Quran in its original Arabic language. This perfect preservation proves that Islam is a universal message for all mankind. 2. The core belief: oneness of God. The most important belief in Islam is that God is one and unique. He has no partners, no parents, and no children. He is the eternal, absolute, the creator, and the sustainer of the whole universe. Nothing is like Him. He is all-powerful and all-knowing. He is the first, the last, the most high, and the most near. The book explains that the entire universe testifies to God's oneness. The orderly succession of day and night, the movement of the sun, moon, and stars, the change of seasons, all show a perfect plan. A flawless plan must have a planner. Amazing design must have a designer. The universe cannot create itself. The book gives a simple example from a desert Bedouin who was asked how he knew God existed. He replied, "Camel droppings show a camel passed by. Footprints show a person walked by. So don't the great mountains, the vast oceans, and the beautiful sky show the existence of the wise, all-powerful God?" 3. Signs of God in nature and history. The Quran encourages people to use their reason and look at the world around them. The book lists many signs of God in the sky. The sun, moon, and stars work perfectly without any flaw. The Quran challenges people to look for any defect in creation, but they will find none. On earth, different plants grow from the same soil and are watered by the same rain, yet they produce fruits of different colors, tastes, and smells. In water, God sends down rain in due measure. He could make it salty and undrinkable, but He makes it fresh. Within ourselves, we are created from a single soul, given mates for love and mercy, and given different languages and colors. The book also says that history is a lesson. People should travel and see what happened to past nations who rejected God's message and did evil. For example, the story of Pharaoh, the Egyptian king who opposed Moses, is a warning. He was very powerful and cruel, but his power did not save him. God drowned him in the Red Sea, and his body was preserved as a sign for future generations. The Quran does not tell stories for entertainment, but for people to think and learn. 4. Worship, more than just rituals. Many people think worship is only prayer, fasting, and charity. In Islam, Worship includes almost everything a person does, as long as two conditions are met. The action is done for Allah alone. The action follows the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. If these conditions are met, even daily activities become acts of worship. For example, eating to gain strength to worship Allah is worship. Working honestly to support your family is worship. Sleeping to rest your body so you can serve Allah is worship. Even having a loving relationship with your spouse is rewarded as an act of worship. The Prophet told his companions that if a person satisfies his desire lawfully with his psalm, he will be rewarded. The companions were surprised, and the Prophet asked, "If you did it unlawfully, would you be sinful?" Likewise, doing it lawfully brings a reward. This broad meaning of worship fills a Muslim's life with purpose and joy, knowing that even small, good actions are noticed by Allah. 5. Islam is simple and easy. Islam is a very simple and easy religion. It has no complicated rituals or priests who come between a person and God. Every Muslim can read the Quran and follow the Prophet's example directly. A famous verse says, "Allah intends for you ease, and He does not want to make things difficult for you." 185. Another says, "On no soul does Allah place a burden greater than it can bear." Locker 286. The book gives clear examples of this easiness. Ablution. Normally, Muslims wash their face, hands, and feet with water before prayer. But if water is not available, or a person is sick, they can do tayammum, using clean dust or earth to wipe their face and hands. Fasting. If a Muslim eats or drinks by mistake while fasting, the fast is still valid because it was an accident. Also, a traveler or a sick person can skip the fast and make it up later. A person forced to eat is also forgiven. The Prophet said, "This religion is easy, and whoever overburdens himself will not be able to continue." He always chose the easier and more convenient option as long as it was not a sin. This shows that Allah is merciful and understands human weakness. 6. Islam, a complete way of life. Islam is not separate from daily life. It guides everything: politics, business, family, personal hygiene, and even how to use the toilet with specific prayers and rules. Because Islam covers everything, it is called a way of life, not just a religion. It rejects the Western idea of give to Caesar what is Caesar's and to God what is God's. For a Muslim, everything belongs to God, and all actions should be for Him. One verse of the Quran summarizes this perfectly. "Say truly, my prayer, my sacrifice, my living and my dying are for Allah, the Lord of the worlds." 6162. Islam is practical. It does not believe in wishful thinking. Faith must be followed by good and righteous deeds. Those who believe and work righteousness will have a great reward. 7. A universal religion. Earlier prophets were sent to specific nations or tribes. For example, Moses was sent to the Israelites, and Jesus to the people of Israel. But the Prophet Muhammad was sent to all of mankind. The Quran says, "We have not sent you but as a messenger to all mankind." 34:28. He is described as a mercy for all the nations. 21:107. This means Islam is for everyone, no matter if they are Arab or non-Arab, white or black, rich or poor. There is no chosen people based on race. The only honor in Islam is based on piety and good deeds. Earlier prophets had miracles that were specific to their time. Moses turned his staff into a snake. Jesus healed the blind and raised the dead. The greatest miracle of Prophet Muhammad is the Quran itself. It is a living, lasting miracle that is still in its original form and will guide people until the end of time. The Quran is clear, without any crookedness, and is a source of mercy and guidance for the whole world. 8. Moderation is the key. Islam teaches moderation in everything. It does not ignore the spiritual or the material. It commands people to prepare for the afterlife while also enjoying their lawful share of this world. One verse says, Seek the home of the hereafter, nor forget your portion in this world. 28:77. The book tells a famous story. 3 men came to the Prophet's house to ask about his worship. When they heard he prayed, slept, fasted sometimes and sometimes did not, and that he married, they thought their own worship was not enough. One said, "I will pray all night." Another said, "I will fast every day." The third said, "I will never marry." The Prophet told them, "I fear Allah more than you, but I sometimes fast and sometimes don't. I pray and I sleep, and I marry. Whoever turns away from my way is not from me." Islam also teaches balance in spending. People should not be stingy nor extravagant like a spendthrift. Spendthrifts are called brothers of Satan. Muslims are told to eat and drink but not waste. The Prophet taught that the worst vessel a person can fill is his stomach. A few morsels are enough to keep him alive. If he must eat, he should fill 1/3 with food, 1/3 with water, and 1/3 with air for breathing. 9. The great value of knowledge. Islam lifted the world from ignorance. The very first word revealed to the Prophet Muhammad was read. The first verses command reading, learning, and using the pen to teach. Islam makes it an obligation for every Muslim man and woman to seek knowledge. There are 2 types of knowledge: religious knowledge, to understand how to worship Allah and live a good life; worldly knowledge, to benefit oneself and humanity; science, medicine, math, etc. The book praises the early Muslims. Within a few years they became a great civilization. When they followed Islam, they excelled in medicine, astronomy, chemistry, physics, and math. For example, Muslim doctors like Al-Razi and Avicenna Lanohitin Solaim wrote medical books that were used as standard guides in Europe for centuries. The Prophet said that seeking knowledge is a path to paradise, and that scholars are the heirs of the prophets. 10. The beauty of specific acts of worship. The book explains the inner beauty and wisdom behind the 5 pillars of Islam. Prayer. Prayer is a unique spiritual experience. It brings a Muslim closer to God 5 times a day. It teaches discipline, punctuality, humility, and sincerity. When a Muslim prostrates, puts his forehead on he is at the highest point of submission to God. Prayer prevents indecency and evil. It is a source of courage and patience in times of distress. Charity, zakat, is not just charity. It is an obligatory payment on a Muslim's wealth, usually 2.5% of savings each year. The word zakat means purification. It purifies the giver's heart from selfishness and greed. It also purifies the receiver's heart from jealousy and hatred. Zakat prevents the hoarding of wealth and ensures that money circulates in the economy. It helps the poor and needy and creates a balanced, just society. Islam forbids usury because it leads to injustice and allows a few rich people to control all the wealth. Fasting in Ramadan is not just about not eating or drinking. The main goal is to achieve taqwa, God consciousness, or piety. Fasting teaches self-control, patience, and willpower. It makes a person feel the hunger of the poor, so he becomes more kind and generous. Fasting is a shield against many diseases. The Prophet said that if someone fights or swears at a fasting person, the fasting person should simply say, "I am fasting." Fasting also stops a person from lying, cheating, and other bad behavior. Pilgrimage Talasilo, Hajj is a journey to Makkah that every Muslim must do once in a lifetime if they are able. It has many beautiful lessons. It shows the universality of Islam. People from all races, colors, and nationalities come together, wearing simple white clothes. Everyone is equal before God. There is no king or peasant, rich or poor on the field of Hajj. Hajj also reminds people of death because the white clothes are like a shroud. It reminds them of the day of judgment, when all people will stand equal before God. Hajj is also a time for travel, learning, and reconciliation. Striving Hajj, many people misunderstand jihad. It does not mean holy war in the sense of forcing people to convert. The word jihad means to strive or struggle. The greatest jihad is the struggle against one's own evil desires. The book explains that fighting in the way of Allah is allowed only to defend against oppression and injustice, to protect the freedom to worship God. The Quran says, "Let there be no compulsion in religion," 2:256. Islam was not spread by the sword. History shows that Muslims ruled many lands for centuries, and people of other religions, Lus, Christians, Hindu, continued to live with their own places of worship. The book quotes Western scholars who call the idea of forcing Islam by the sword a ridiculous myth. 11. Social and moral beauty. The book then lists many beautiful moral teachings of Islam, equality, all people are created from a single pair, Adam and Eve. No Arab is better than a non-Arab, and no white is better than a black, except in piety. Honor is based on good deeds, not race or wealth. Justice, Muslims must be just, even if it is against themselves, their parents, or their relatives. The Prophet said that even his own daughter would be punished for theft if she committed it. A famous story tells of Caliph Umar, who allowed a common Egyptian to whip the governor's son for injustice, showing that no one is above the law. Honesty and trust. Muslims must always tell the truth and return what is entrusted to them. Breaking a promise and lying are signs of hypocrisy. Good character. The Prophet said he was sent to perfect good character. Kindness, humility, and patience are highly rewarded. Kindness to parents. This is the highest duty after worshiping God. A person must never say a word of disrespect to parents, especially when they are old. Paradise lies at the feet of mothers. Kindness to neighbors and orphans. A Muslim must treat neighbors well. The angel Gabriel stressed the rights of neighbors so much that the Prophet thought they might inherit from each other. It is a major sin to ignore an orphan or push away a person in need. Mercy to animals. A woman was sent to hell for locking up a cat and not feeding it. A man was sent to paradise for giving water to a thirsty dog. Islam forbids branding animals on the face or killing them cruelly. When slaughtering an animal for food, the knife must be sharp, and the animal must be treated gently. Forgiveness and reconciliation. Muslims are encouraged to forgive others, make peace between people, and not hold grudges. Reconciling two people is an act of charity. Avoiding bad habits. Islam forbids backbiting, talking bad about someone behind their back, spying, jealousy, arrogance, and suspicion. 12. Prohibitions and their alternatives. Islam forbids certain things, but it always provides a better alternative. Adultery and fornication. Islam forbids any sexual relationship outside of marriage. It also forbids anything that leads to it, such as lustful looks or private meetings. The alternative is a clean, loving, and stable family life through marriage. Usury resris, taking or paying interest, is forbidden. Islam says trade is allowed, but interest is an injustice. The alternative is fair and ethical trade, profit sharing, and charity zakat. Alcohol and drugs, intoxicants, are called the root of all evil. They destroy the mind, health, family, and society. The alternative is clear thinking, healthy drinks, and spending money on useful things. Gambling. Gambling is forbidden because it creates addiction, wastes wealth, and leads to hatred. The alternative is working hard for honest earnings and trusting in God's provision. The book explains that everything forbidden in Islam is harmful in some way. God, the Creator, knows what is best for His creation. He never forbids something without providing a better substitute. 13. What others say about Islam. The book ends by quoting several famous people who converted to Islam and saw its beauty. Wilfried Hoffman. He said that agnosticism, not believing in anything, is not intelligent. He realized Islam is in greatest harmony with overall reality and became a Muslim. Muhammad Ali Medeke, he said his experience of standing on Mount Arafat during Hajj was the most unique feeling of his life. He saw kings and common people from all over the world, all wearing simple white clothes, praying to one God. He said it was a practical demonstration of equality in Islam. Muhammad Asad, Astria-Lil, he could not point to one specific teaching that attracted him, but the whole, complete, harmonious system of Islam won his heart. Colonel Donald S. Rockwell, he praised the simplicity of Islam, the atmosphere of its mosques, music, or elaborate rituals, the democracy of Islam where rich and poor kneel side by side, and the fact that there is no mediator between a person and God. The book also quotes non-Muslim Western scholars who refute the myth that Islam was spread by the sword. They admit that history shows Muslims did not force people to convert. Conclusion: Islam is the truth. The book concludes by reminding the reader that the signs of God are everywhere. Islam liberated the Arabs from ignorance and tribal wars. It united them and made them a great civilization. The enemies of Islam may try to put out the light of Islam, but God will complete his light. The Quran asks, "Can a person who was dead relow, and whom we gave life and a light to walk among men, be like a person in deep darkness from which he cannot come out?" 6:122